Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck gives you freedom? Freedom brings opportunity. Opportunity makes your future.
Your stats are very respectable. You've done some solid work here. But it's not quite Ivy League now, is it?
You know, Bill, there's one thing I've learned in all my years. Sometimes you gotta say, what the fuck?
I beg your pardon?
The average fan listens for, are you ready for this? An hour and 20 minutes.
How can that be?
Answer most commonly given, I want to see what he'll say next.
All right, okay, fine. But what about the people who hate?
Good point. The average hater listens for 2.5 hours a day.
Look, but if they hate him, why do they listen?
Most common answer, I want to see what he'll say next.
CPR street gang, this is our mighty. Standing by, over. Over. CPR street gang, this is our mighty. Standing by, over.
Right now, it's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines,
clocks run out, time's up.
Wind is blowing cold and dark. On the road and no way out. A broken house, a smoking gun. On the run. On the run.
It's Saturday night. It's New Year's Eve. Freeworld.fm. My name's Jimmy. And into the microcosm is on the out.
Just round the corner, there's a shadow in the dark. Just round the corner, there's a shadow in the dark. I can feel something creeping. It's you coming round. Oh yeah. On the other side of the alley, there's a calling in the night. On the other side of the alley, there's a calling in the night.
now, little baby, and take a drive in my car. I said, hey now, little darling, and take a drive in my car. I got a brand new engine and I'm sure gonna drive you far.
It's freeworld.fm.
Well, you know I love you, baby. You know you've been on my mind. You know I love you, darling. I think about you all the time. So come on, let's take a drive. I'm sure we're gonna find a good time. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wipe the tears with my hand. Well, I believe my little woman got another man. 40 days.
This revolutionary new superheater can warm up any room
Man,
in
this
minutes
40 long nights. Well, 40 days. It's been 40 long nights.
Rumpelstiltskin. Are you there? Rocket Rio, the sleeping prophet.
I am here.
Excellent. Hey, I see Bruce McDonald snuck in. Hey, Bruce, come on in, man. What's happening? You didn't direct Roadkill, did you? The movie Roadkill?
I don't even know that movie.
Bruce, it sounds like you're in a can. Somebody let him out. Did you ever call liquor stores when you were a kid? Rock and Rio, did you call liquor stores and ask them if they had Prince Albert in a can?
I don't even know what that movie is, Roadkill.
No? Me neither. Somebody brought it up in the chat.
No, I was never heard of Prince Albert in a can.
You didn't call up the liquor store and say, hey, do you have Prince Albert in a can? And then when they go, yeah, you just go, let him out, man, before he suffocates.
Man, we used to do the most diabolical pranks when I was younger. Like, it was unbelievable the mischief we would get up to, man.
So
we used to do stuff. We used to do stuff like, and I'm not even sure I should say this on air, even like 40 years later, 45 years later. But
be careful.
We used to do stuff like we'd call up a McDonald's store, and we'd say, "Hey, man, I'm so and so. I'm a Boy Scout leader. We're coming in with 3 buses, 48 per bus. We're from upstate New York. We're doing it. We're doing a trip to meet another Boy Scout band, Jamboree in Ontario. We don't have time to come in, and there's so many of us who'd fill up your restaurant. Can we have an order waiting to go? We should be there. We're about 18 kilometers out. We should be there in about 15 minutes." Dude, we'd order like 150 Big Mac combos, all the drinks poured, and that just never show up, man. Just shit like that. I don't even know. The guy that thought that up actually worked at McDonald's. And he said, "Hey, this is what they do, man. They get orders all the time from people on the road, and you know."
Well, here's a good one for you. How about this? Somebody, if you're unhappy for any reason with someone, for example, you can go down and make yourself. You know how you make a flyer, and then you cut those little on the end. You make a little thing where people can tear off the phone number. That kind of thing. Well, what you do is you make one of those, but you put an address on there, and then you make a flyer that says you're looking for feces samples, random feces samples. If you send feces to this address, we'll send you $20. And you send, you put them there, and then people tear it off, and they mail you their feces, in a plastic bag, but not you. They mail it to the person you send it to, or the company that you don't like. I think that's called terrorism, Bruce. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Isn't that how they got the Unabomber?
Very close to it. His brother ratted him out.
Rock and Rio, man. Hey, there he is, Billy Ray Valentine. Come on out here, Billy. Call us on Skype. Billy Ray
Check
Valentine.
out the free world chat. There are other people on there.
There is.
There is. You got people in your chat, Billy? I'll take a look and see.
All right. Well, check out Free World. Go over there, and then go to the where it says shows, and then go there, and then where it says Into the Microcosm, click on that, and when you go to that page, you'll see a place where you can rate Into the Microcosm, and then go on there and rate Into the Microcosm. I don't know what it means, and that's a lot of clicking, and I know people don't click. You know what I mean? You just reach over and click something. People don't want to do it. I wonder if people would do it if they got something out of it, like a joy buzzer or something. Like somehow if you could, have the whatever button you wanted someone to click, if you just had some sort of, arrangement where the person who clicked it would get something out of it, I think, there'd be more clicking. You know what I mean? Like if it's a joy buzzer, like if you went over there and clicked the thumbs up button on the Into the Microcosm over here, if you click that, you get like some rush, like a dopamine rush or somehow. Like there's some weird light that flashes on your screen or something. I bet it's possible, man, to do that.
Could be. So little John, the Angry Tiger, and Jason Barker are all over there. And then there's Pat the Plumber.
Angry Tiger's on there?
Angry Tiger's on there.
What's happening, man? Angry Tiger's on before Into the Microcosm on Friday nights, from what I hear.
Ah, nice.
So is Billy going to contact us on Skype, or is he just over here trolling us?
I don't know.
Well, it's New Year's Eve. Where's Epic Journeyman? Did you send him did you heckle him, man?
I have not heckled the Journeyman.
I have not heckled him either, so maybe he's off somewhere on the island smoking Maui Wowie. I don't know if he can smoke Maui Wowie over there. I think he has to drug test. Who do you think's growing all this weed over here, man? You know China's growing a shitload of weed in California and all the states where it's legal. China's all up in there growing shit.
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
Come on.
They've invested billions.
Business for?
No, and can you imagine the strains they're throwing down on? People are just all catatonic. They're just frozen on the couch, in some position. He's moving.
Matt Armitage just asked for the year in reverse. Let's see, it would be December, November, October, September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January. I think that's it, right?
It's perverse. Did you peckle the journeyman?
I threw something at him, but I think I missed.
There's no response. I don't blame him. You lived on the island? Seriously, what's going on with these people? The situation. You best being on the island over there. So the only way people can get there is like floating up on boats, but it just makes me wonder if people are flying in there. Because they do fly people out of your city and fly them over to Hawaii. They're like, hey, homeless dude, we don't want you here. Where do you want to go? We'll buy you a ticket anywhere but here. And they go, I'll go to Hawaii. And they go to Hawaii, and there's a shitload of men. Have you ever seen there's a documentary called The Island where they dump the homeless people or something like that. I think it's the title of it. And
yeah, it's called Manhattan.
No, seriously, man. People end up somehow homeless in Hawaii. And, because you can't, once you get to a certain point, you need so much money to get out, to GTFO. Like if you go to Hawaii, you think you're going to make it, you get there, you don't make it, and you got to get out. You only have a certain amount of time to get out before you don't have enough money to get out. And then once you don't have enough money to get out, then you're stuck. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be stuck, do you?
Well, see, if you come to New York, we'll give you money. We'll put you up at the Waldorf Astoria, in a nice $800 a night room. We'll give you $200 a day.
You sound kind of low volume, man.
Do I?
Yeah. Now you're starting to come up a little bit. I don't hear anything from Bruce. He's sitting over there. Bruce, are you on ayahuasca right now? Are you on an ayahuasca journey, Bruce, right now? The shaman's journey? You're not becoming one with the snake as we speak, are you?
No.
Okay.
But I'll tell you right now, if I was, you'd never even know.
That's what I mean. You're that type of brother. You'd just be sitting there. You'd be sitting there talking to the clockwork elves in the back of your mind. And I'd be sitting here thinking, geez, what's wrong with Bruce? He looks weird, but those eyes, there's like rainbows and dancing bears coming out of Bruce's eyes.
You don't partake in the ayahuasca, do you, Bruce?
I don't do any plant medicine.
Listen, I'll tell you what.
A year now, I'm getting ready to do another 2-week session of THC oil. I do that maybe twice a year, and then I don't eat. I fast, and then the THC oil cleans my cells as well. And it's the ultimate medicine, by the way. There's a reason it kills cancer.
I think if Bruce was gonna do something, he would do the thing where you get the stick of bamboo and you open your mouth and the shaman blows this wad of shit into the back of your throat through this blowgun thing. They just go and it just hits the back of your throat, dude, and then you just fall into this deep meditative sleep where you then journey into the far reaches of the universe, my friend.
Jason in the chat says he hired the clockwork elves to replace his water pump, and now his truck is a pile of parts.
Hey, well, they never said they were mechanics.
That's right. You should have sent it over to me. I could replace your water pump.
There you go. See, there's your write-off right there. You just talked about cars. Bruce McDonald, he's living high on the hog. Hey, Bruce, are you living high on the hog?
No, I gave up killing pigs too, Jimmy.
That's what I thought.
Took about 12, and then I was done.
I never knew what living high off the hog was until I listened to that Malcolm X talk about the plantation. Because the people that
What does it mean? I'm curious. Yeah.
It means you don't eat the guts. You get the guts. If you're out in the field, you eat the guts. Everybody else eating high off the hog, you're eating the guts.
That's right. You're eating the chitlins.
Chitlins, man. Chitlins. Well, maybe they didn't tell you, man. I know you're up there on the mountain. Maybe they didn't go up there and tell you up on the mountain, Bruce. I guess they didn't tell you.
No.
Oh, Tommy. No more shines, Billy. What? I said no more shines. Maybe you didn't hear about it. You've been away a long time. They didn't go up there and tell you. I don't shine shoes anymore.
No more shines, Bruce. So speaking of shines, did the Epic Journeyman join us yet, man?
I have not seen the Epic Journeyman yet.
I hope it's not New Year's Eve for the Journeyman already. He's probably had maybe 3. I don't know. What would you say if you were going to pick a beer that the Epic Journeyman swills when he goes down to the hotels and he's cruising for the ladies or whatever? And he's standing around with his Hawaiian shirt on and his $300 sunglasses. And he's sitting there. What kind of beer? What kind of beer would you say is in his hand?
Well, I would hope it's not a Bud Light.
No. I'd be leaning towards either a Heineken or I don't know, a Dos Equis.
I don't know. Do you think the Journeyman? I don't know. Journeyman might be like a Corona with lime guy.
You think? No.
Yeah.
Well, he did come from San Diego. That's why I think he might be a Dos Equis man.
Dos Equis man.
Listen, Bruce, did you know that Mexican beer has some ingredient mixture in that beer that will make hot sauce not as hot? Like if you're burning from hot sauce, you swill a Dos Equis, it'll just chill it out right there on the spot for some reason. Mexican beer and hot sauce.
Yeah, it's the Mexican pee-pee water.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you this. I do remember swilling a Mexican beer and eating some hot sauce and some jalapenos.
I prefer my beers from Germany and Belgium.
All right, listen. What beer would Epic Journeyman be swilling at the bar if he was at the bar? I say, I'm gonna have to say Heineken. Bruce, what do you say?
Miller Genuine Draft.
You think?
100%.
I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the Corona and lime.
Or Bud Light.
Well, yeah.
He won't admit
I don't know. He
it.
doesn't strike me as a Bud Light connoisseur.
No. But he might have bought into the Spuds McKenzie, marketing campaign. Because Spuds was fun. Everywhere he went, people were partying. There was always, good-looking people everywhere dancing around, in their underwear.
Is there any kind of Hawaiian beer? Is there like a local Hawaiian beer?
Primo. I think it's Primo, yeah.
Maybe he's a Primo man.
He might drink Primo. I don't know. I heard a Skype noise. Is he now pecking his way back to the
that
homestead?
must be on your Skype.
No, it's Billy.
Ah.
Let me add Billy. No, so seriously though, what do you think? So Bruce said, what'd you say, Bruce? You said
Miller Genuine Draft.
Miller Genuine Draft, and you're saying Corona, dude?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
He might go for the bucket of rocks on the beach.
He's living the life, man. He's just rolling around. You know what I mean? Just living the life.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'm trying to get Billy hooked up. It's always such a hassle, man. People don't realize how many buttons and mice I got to deal with here. I got 2 computers going, one for Free World, one for YouTube. I got Skype. I got all this audio. I got clips. I got all this shit. And I just make it happen.
Yeah, it's just a few little quick clicks, that's all.
It used to be, it used to take 20 people, man, doing this shit, pointing at you through the glass and all this. Go, Rio. It's you, Rio, pointing at you. Pointing at their watch when it's getting time to take a break. You know what I mean?
She's hours of indoor dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca.
The Puerto Rican hurricane. Billy Ray Valentine. Are you there?
Yep.
Hey, dude, is Ricky Martin gay?
Oh, yeah.
He is, because there's this weird look in his eye on this video.
Yeah.
Like he kind of looks away in a certain moment, sort of expressively.
Yeah.
It was in that moment that it made me wonder if he was gay.
Oh, 100%.
He's very gay from what I can tell.
Well, so what is it with all the chicks that are all dancing around? There's no dudes in the whole place.
But that was back before he came out of the closet.
But the whole dance floor is full of chicks and there's no dudes, and they're all dancing.
Yeah, because he's a good-looking guy, and all the girls loved him back in the day.
Jeez. Wow. You could see why, I guess. Wasn't he with Child Star though, man? Wasn't he on the Disney?
He was Menudo.
Was he Menudo?
Right.
Yeah, Menudo.
It was when. Let me ask you this, man. Was Menudo like one of those machines that churned out it's like a
It's like the Mouseketeers, kind
it's a Spanish-speaking version of the Mouseketeers, where they crank them out. I mean, he's part of the
that's
system.
Exactly what it was. Before the Mouseketeers, it was Menudo.
So
yeah, I can't stay for too long, but I wanted to stop by real quick and say what's up to everybody.
Yeah. So what's going on? We went over to the chat
and plug Free World or whatever. Angry Tiger just did his show. There were.
I didn't know Angry Tiger
since, but we need to get everybody over here in this chat over there. At some point, I got to talk to JG to see how we're going to get that.
Well,
done.
we were talking about.
Everybody needs to go.
We were talking about it earlier, man.
Well,
we were talking about it earlier, me and Rio.
Right.
And so what we were saying was,
Angry Tiger's hanging out. If you want to add him in, he's down to hang real quick.
I don't have his. I'm not. You have to add him in because I don't have his Skype contact.
Do I have your permission to do so?
Of course, yeah. But what I was going to say is, here's the thing. So now, if you go over to Free World right now, is this showing that this show is playing? And then how do people get to the chat room? You know what I mean?
It just says chat. You click on chat, boom, and there you are.
You click on it. What happens when people go over to freeworld.fm and they say they like Into the Microcosm and they're on there and they rate it in the stars? What do those stars mean? Does that pump your show up the list? So does it make your show? What does that do? Does that do anything?
I mean, right now it probably doesn't, but it will at some point.
I think it does, man. I think it's like, I think you get a rating somehow on the back end. You might ask them.
How do I invite somebody here?
Well, all you do is you just call him on your Skype. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know.
His name is Angry Tiger on Skype.
All right, let me see if I can find him.
See if I can find him.
Yeah, see if you can find him. I'm not searchable on Skype.
What's up, Bruce?
Bruce is here. We're all here. Hey, so it's New Year's Eve, and we're waiting for the Epic Journeyman to show up, and we were wondering, and we'll get your vote on it. We were wondering, when Epic Journeyman is standing around with his Hawaiian shirt and $300 sunglasses at the bar, looking for ladies, what beer has he got in his hand? I said Heineken. Bruce said Miller Genuine Draft. Ria said Corona with a lime. What do you say?
Coors Light.
Coors Light. There you go. Bruce, you're muted, but yeah. Coors Light. It's possible.
What did he ever do to you?
Coors Light. I don't know.
That's all the rage, All
right, hold on.
I don't drink, I'd have water, but
there's multiple Angry Tigers on here.
Really? The first one, Angry Tiger, it's the face of a tiger on it.
You have to. What city is Angry Tiger in?
We should have a mutual contact
to narrow it down.
With him and you, him and I.
This is behind the scenes radio, ladies and gentlemen. FreeWorld.fm. Don't worry, it's free. Hey man, Jim Ladd died last week. You know who Jim Ladd is?
No.
Well, he was on a radio station called KLOS down in Los Angeles. It's a classic rock station. But he played everything off the cuff. Like he didn't play no lists. And he kept getting in trouble, So he eventually, I think he went to satellite radio.
You know who passed away was Ian Punney.
Yeah, I heard about that. Well, listen, so you know what his claim to fame is now? After all those years he was on the air, literally he interviewed anyone and everyone in the music business. He had the sweetest house up in the canyon, man, up in Los Angeles that he bought when he was young. And the dude, and you know what? It all boiled down to one thing, that Tom Petty wrote a song called The Last DJ.
Yeah.
And that's about him. And so everybody's like, he died, but Tom Petty wrote this song about him. So it's pretty cool. I did a thing on it the day he died, but it got, taken down because of issues, copyright issues or whatever.
I totally forgot how to use Skype.
Rio, did you find the angry tiger?
Not down the...
All right.
I'm going to send him a direct message in the chat.
Yeah. Well, even still, then how am I going to add him?
Well, if I add him...
Can you add him?
All
right. Well, we'll figure it all out. We'll get it squared away. It's Saturday night, New Year's Eve. And so apparently, is there a new moon coming up, Bruce? I think there's a...
Dude, I don't follow that stuff. I'm the last guy in the world to ask that question.
Why? You're on the fucking mountain. You don't look at the sky?
We just went through a moon. Okay, I'll tell you.
What the hell else do you do up there, dude, if you don't look at the sky? What the fuck are you living on a mountain for? Are you sitting in there looking at the internet?
I'm not going out looking at the moon at night. Like, I'll tell you, we just went through a full moon. It was like a full moon around Christmas.
Well, see,
so it'll be about another 23, 24 days.
See, I imagine you sitting there hovering, in some yoga position, above the earth, staring at the moon or whatever. Becoming one with the snake up there. No. Man, I wish I could tell you this story about some shit that happened at work, man, because I made this joke that was so funny that I haven't laughed that hard probably in 10 years, man. It was too funny, and but the shit's not funny if you had to be there. So I can't even share it with you, but I wish I could, because I almost busted out laughing right now just thinking about it. Did you find the angry tiger, Rio?
I have found him. I am awaiting his approval.
Aha. Approve that then. There. So listen, the new year coming up, Billy, what are you thinking? Now, I said last year my prediction was Michelle Obama. Now, most people would say at this point I've been wrong, and I'll say I'm wrong up until this point. But anything could happen because she would have had to have announced by now, right? There was a deadline that she would have to have met, which she did not meet. But there may be some unforeseen circumstances happening in the just near-term future that may, move that rule out of the way because they need to have somebody because of a tragedy or some other reason. So there's still potential, but I have to say that my big prediction so far has not come true. So I was wrong from last year. I don't know, Bruce, were you here last year for New Year's predictions? Did you predict anything?
No.
All right, I know Rock and Rio did, but he's busy digging up the tiger.
I shared his contact.
Yeah, I got that, but he still has to accept me as his friend.
All right,
These are the unforeseen circumstances in Skype, but you know what? That's why we do it live. It's freeform radio, freeworld.fm, Jim Ladd style. It happens as it happens, and that's the way it is. So it's, it's almost like reality TV in a way. It's reality radio, sort of. Well, I guess it is TV because I'm on YouTube. The Angry Tiger.
We have the Angry Tiger.
Angry Tiger. Hey. Welcome into the microcosm Saturday night. What's happening?
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
We can.
You can see me too. Oh,
Yeah. Did you have ducks going on in the background?
I did, but I just silenced them.
Oh, I thought I heard some. That's cool. What do you just have them running around there in the studio?
No. It's my text message.
So what's happening, man? You getting ready for the new year?
What's going on, Jimmy Jean? Pleasure to meet you, brother.
Our pleasure to have you. And, what do you got going on? Are you feeling positive for the new year? Do you feel anything? Because, we're trying to find something, that we can at least hold on to, as we go into the new year. That,
hold on to your ass, man.
Well, yeah. So you're feeling the needle is pointing a little bit more towards something negative as opposed to the positive.
Technically, yes.
Well, I'd have to agree with you. Just based on everything we see, we were talking a little bit about last night on the show. We were saying that Goldman Sachs has $53 trillion of derivative exposure. 85% of the derivative exposure in the world is in U.S. banks.
Wow, you actually know that. There's a lot of people that don't.
Well, Angry Tiger, this is Into the Microcosm. We chill, but we do know stuff. But
no. Even you don't even hear. So you're never going to hear a mainstream financial guy talk about the high risk derivatives that the banks are holding on to, right? They're not going to tell you how many banks are going out of business right now. They're closing their doors because what's happening, brother, is consolidation. Consolidation is going on right now. This is the playbook. I don't mean to come on here and shut me up whenever you want, brother.
Let it rip, dude.
Let
it rip. We're going into the new year. Let's hear what you think.
It's the playbook from at least in the banking industry and the financial industry. In 1921, there was the Farmers' Depression, right? It preceded the Great Depression. And what happened was out in the Midwest, the banks, the little wildcat independent banks of the bigger banks, right, and the central banking system. They were wildcat banks, so they needed to get those people out of business. So they started consolidating high risk assets, all kinds of different stuff. They started buying stuff up and ruining it. All right, these banks weren't on the market. The big Wall Street banks and the central banks did this, and they consolidated all the banks down to what very few banks, kind of what you have today, all the bigger banks.
Well, we're thinking that moving into the future, the near-term future, that there's more and more leaning towards moving away from the old system and moving into something new. And so, in order to do that, I think the best thing for all the parties concerned would be to erase all that derivative exposure. But to let everybody keep everything they've stolen up until this point and have it hidden in some method that's already, been determined as far as these electronic transfers. We talked about Ripple and XRP being accepted around in these different formats. For example, over in Dubai, I think they have a pilot program now where they're running with Ripple Ledger. And so some of these BRICS people are, the transfer between the United States and these BRICS countries may be done on this ledger type of thing. So we really don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I think we're feeling like, I don't know. Do you guys all remember the 2012 situation where there was this thing and they were saying that there was certain people, if you thought that you were going to move into the fifth dimension or whatever, you'd move into this happy world where nothing bad was going to happen to you. But if you were the people that thought that there was going to be the end of the world scenario, that's the dimension you'd stay in, and you'd be in that world. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Bruce McDonald, coming into the new year, are you feeling positive or negative coming in?
2024?
Yeah, 2024.
An unprecedented shit show that will make the Great Depression look like Disneyland.
Bruce McDonald, have you met the Angry Tiger?
Just tonight, yeah.
Angry Tiger,
meet you, man.
Bruce
Pleasure
McDonald.
to meet you both. It's an honor to be on your program,
We
too.
we really appreciate you, bro. Too. Is Billy, you still on here?
He dropped out.
Yeah, that's how he is, man. Billy's like Billy. When you go to a party with Billy, He's the type of dude. He goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, bro." And then you don't see him anymore. You just go, Billy, what happened to you at that party, man? I had to go, bro. No, I'm just Billy. I'm just
exited stage left.
yeah. I'm just busting your
No,
ball.
but
Yeah, I'm busting ball.
I'll be more specific, Jimmy.
Yeah, come on.
So every system we have will become compromised. So the financial system, the medical system, the electrical system, everything will be like touch and go. Not full failure, but it'll start to get like kind of third world. And then the financial system is going to go, and then we'll see what happens after that, man. But it's going to be a rough year. I mean, if you know how to read the signs, man, they're still messaging all the time, right? They're still sort of telling you what they're doing. They're literally telling you what they're going to do, man. I mean, Klaus Schwab's out there saying there'll be a cyber attack, a cyber pandemic that will make the pandemic look like an inconvenience. You know, they call that telegraph in your punch in boxing. He's leaning on his left foot, Jimmy. You expect a jab.
I mean, seriously, what is the reason for a retail bank at this point? You don't go there anymore. You don't go there to see the guy, talk to him about stuff. You know, you're not going there to get investment advice from the bankers, are you? You don't bring your money down in there and put it in there anymore. I mean, for the most part, really, I mean, banks really don't serve any purpose whatsoever. For whatever reason, you go in there and cash a check or need to pull some cash out for some reason.
Bingo.
Exactly.
That's it. That's the only thing that banks are good for is the cash.
Right. So
and they're not even really good for that. If everybody who decided to take their cash out, they ain't got any.
Exactly.
They only have a little bit.
They can't really do away with them completely. I mean, they may scale back to play small offices where you can go and open an account, but they have to meet you face to face and match you to the ID to open the. I don't know.
Anymore.
Maybe they're right around the corner, being
Not
able
anymore.
to do that online. But
no,
Rio, it's a pleasure to meet you. And another thing, to Bruce's point, the shared ledger system that you guys touched on, that's all put in place. You have MIT, Amazon, all the big tech companies, all the big players were in on building this shared ledger system that they call FedNow. I watched people say, "Oh, that's the CBDC." That wasn't the CBDC. All they did was soup up SWIFT so they can bring in a digital currency, because they're like you guys said, they're going to run this into the ground. They're going to keep it. Okay, keep everything they stole. It's an incestuous relationship between it used to be just the central bank and the government. Now it's the central bank, the government, and megacorps, that are involved in this. And I hate to sound, that way, but it's the truth. So now it's a three of them.
Sound what way? Naive.
Well, it's all built on Google's technology and Amazon servers and Apple's network, and that's how they do it. They're all tied in, all the big corporations. If they're approaching $1 trillion, those corporations, you can guarantee they're guilty.
And all their data will be offshore when everything blinks out and nothing comes back. Whoops, sorry.
Are you kidding me, man? I'm pretty sure that they got physical storage capacity in the distributed satellite system now.
Let me say this.
They'll put it right outside the magnetosphere where nothing can harm it, man.
And I'll tell you this, man. I personally, I was a contractor. I bid on a job to build data center inside of a ex-oil tanker for Google. Google was going to build data centers in these oil tanker facility so they could float them up and run a cable from the ship to the shore in event of an emergency. Is what they were putting forward, is that they were going to do. But they were going to get it, and they were going to do it because they could cool the servers and everything because the boat is sitting in water. So it would
ask you guys a question. How come all these whack jobs shoot up schools and kids? Am I the only one waiting for the whack job who just takes out people like this? Like, where's the whack job we need? Why isn't there a yin and a yang in the whack job world? Riddle, tell me that. I mean,
You mean why isn't there someone taking out the bad guys?
yeah, like just some crazy dude who's got nothing to lose. Like, you got to be nuts to go into a school and shoot them up. Why don't we? Where's that guy who's just going to hang outside Google one day, you know, and when the senior engineering lunch is over, he just opens up with the
Man, you're not
AR-15
getting anywhere
stock
near
with his mom's ID.
You're not getting anywhere
Where's
near.
that guy?
Not
He's
get-
working for those guys.
Yes, exactly.
That's where that guy is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, plus Google's any of these companies here. I live in the Silicon Valley, and I've worked in a lot of these facilities, you know, over the years, putting systems in. And just most of these, we've talked about this on the show before, because most of these facilities are like foreign countries. When you're in there and you're on their property, they can arrest you and put you in a cell. Literally, their security people can come up on you, put you in a cell, and interrogate you. It's like
some episode from Star Trek where they go to another planet.
It is like another planet. It is, but I mean, the thing is you know, we were talking about, well, you know, how come no Americans are falsifying their identity and going down to take advantage of some of these incentives that are happening for people that are you know, quote unquote refugees. How come Americans haven't gone down there and, you know, played the system and, you know, got some of those $5,000 credit cards? But
Because the minute you walk up to the border or into one of them places, they got your facial ID, man.
Exactly.
They know who you are when you get there.
So they've already facial ID'd everybody. So don't go down there and try to scam the system. Otherwise, you might find yourself in prison, federal prison.
Just like that dude 2 years ago that walked up on me in the airport. He had his little iPad in his hand. He says, hey, you know, you didn't do your paperwork yet.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, man.
Mm-hmm. So, Angry Tiger, what's on your radar, dude? I mean, seriously, besides this impending financial collapse that seems to be, I mean,
there's impending war, dude, right?
Exactly.
I just got done saying that. I do a financial report every week,
Mhm.
and I do a regular show every week. So, I mean, we're all thinking the same here. I can tell we're all kind of in the same thought process.
Mhm.
But they want war with Iran. That's the ultimate goal. You get war with Iran, China and Russia are going to back Iran. So now we're we're already in a direct proxy war with Russia through Ukraine. Then we're going to be in a proxy war with China. They've been really belly aching for that. I don't know why. It's like they're idiots or something, but anyways, we all know what this is. And then, like you guys said, there's a multicultural collapse that they're trying to cause. And you know, I had a really smart guy on one of my shows. His name's Vince Agnelli, and he wrote a couple books, and he's, you know, constitutional historian, really wise man. And he never sticks. He always will tell you it's never for sure, because there's so many things, irons in the fire. But are they building a kill box here? Is that what they're doing? What are they doing here? Something's going on here that I mean, I want to ask you guys, can you put your finger on we know about CBDC. Okay. We know about 15-minute cities. We know about all this other stuff, but it almost seems like, to me, they're going to make it so it's really, really bad in this country. You know, and is it a kill box? I don't know. Vince Agnelli threw that option out there, and I said, you know, that's a really interesting theory.
Well, I kind of think it might be, right? I mean, I know in Europe they're testing, you know, like systems where you can't leave your area. You know, like you want to pick up and, you know, take a drive to Florida to go to Disneyland. You ain't doing that because you don't have enough credits to get that through that many borders. You know, and they're testing this system in Europe now, where they're going to confine people to zones. And I think what they're going to try to do is herd as many people as possible into the densely populated cities like Manhattan and Los Angeles and whatever. And then they're going to unleash whatever the next, situation might be on those people. Because that's the easy way to reduce the population. Is get them where they're dense, right?
Yeah.
Nice. You got Billy Ray back in the house, it looks like.
Is he here? Yeah. So listen, I mean, moving into the future, we're definitely. I mean, what you're saying is completely correct, because we saw last week or a couple weeks ago these statistics came out that 48%, or I'm going to say 48% of America is living off $48,000 a year. So I mean, there's ultimately there's been a collapse of the middle class. And with inflation and all this other stuff, I mean, everybody, there's two kinds of people. There's the haves and the have-nots at this point. So you're either making enough money to survive it and get through. It doesn't matter to you if bread costs $10 a loaf. You know what I mean? You have enough money to afford that, but there's a whole bunch of people that don't, and therein lies the problem, because those people getting agitated is what will cause the ultimate collapse. I mean, the collapse is gonna come from within ourselves. I think at some point, on some level, there's people the lines have been drawn, the battle lines or whatever. The teams are been picked, so to speak. So the only thing that's missing now is the shot heard around the world at this point. That's kind of what we were talking about last night on the show. We were saying, really, ultimately, what would be wrong with an America that had states that were like countries? I mean, why are we under this federal government umbrella of policies and people that do us no good? The state.
Well, I mean, technically, each state is supposed to be its own little country,
right?
And the federal government is supposed to keep us united on a certain level, right? But New York is not the same as New Jersey, is not the same. We're all similar. And that's what, that's kind of how Europe used to be, right? Every country had strict borders and, you could get in, you might not get in. Now they went to the European Union, right? So the European Union is very similar to the United States federal government in a way, where the borders are more open and but I think part of it is, like to cause an identity crisis. Like in Europe, the French are very proud to be French, and the Spanish are very proud to be Spanish. The Italians are proud to be Italians. For us, we don't have that. Like,
no.
Oh, you're from New York? Oh, I live in Jersey. Oh, okay. You're just 20 miles away from me. Like there's no identity there, and it goes the same way like around the country.
Well,
like, I go to Texas all the time.
Well,
and they can tell I'm from New York, but it doesn't mean anything to them.
When they took out Gaddafi and they opened up that flow of peoples over into Europe, that whole thing that started happening, and everybody over here, and this is like 5-6 years ago, we were all pointing at it. We're going, look at them. Look at, there's no women. It's only military-aged men and all this. And we were looking at it, and we're watching the total and utter destruction of a culture. All these different countries, all the things that have existed, which humanity might say is, some of the highest attainment. Some of the most beautiful architecture and artwork, and some of the things that have gone on all through there is being totally destroyed and overflowed with peoples that have no respect or care for any of the things that have gone on before. In other words, no one cares about what your customs are in your country. We're just going to come there and be how we're going to be, and
I mean, you're right. And there was even a thing in Michigan not that long ago. It's a very large Arab population over there, and they've been there for a long time. But now they're starting to they want the state of Michigan to enact Sharia law. Well, wait a minute. What happened to Michigan law?
Yeah, that didn't happen. I live in Michigan.
Do you?
Do you?
What happened? So what happened with that? It just
it was one crazy rep.
So it was a rag
wrote
doll
some bill, and it wasn't exactly Sharia law. It was allowing people who were Muslim to enact Sharia law for their own selves, the Shia population here.
Well,
so we have Shia, heavy Shia and heavy Sunni population, and then we have a very heavy Chaldean, which is Christian Iraqi population here. So,
well, honestly, I don't see anything wrong with people doing their own thing within their own, religion. I mean, if you look, like, for example, Rio, where you live, I mean, there's a whole police force that works with these with the Jewish population in New York, right? There's a whole undercover police force and all this. They got their own whole thing going on, don't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, even in the communities up here, they they obviously they abide by their own rules, right? In their area, and they do. They have their own, they have their own fire department. They have their own police. They have their own.
They got their own cops.
They got their own everything, and they just kind of exist over there, like in a way isolated, but
now
not,
are these
not entirely?
Are these Hasidic Jews? Is that what this is now? So so there's a whole police. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. There's a whole police force that works within this community, and everybody knows about it. It's not secret, right?
Yeah, I could talk about this actually because my wife lived in Brooklyn, in that part of Brooklyn, where the Hasidic Jews live. They're Hasidic, right, baby? Yeah, and I remember going there late at night to drop her off, and there were vans that would just drive around, and they would get out and police the area just to make sure everything was on the up and up, and nobody bothered them, man. Not the official police, no one. They did what they needed to do, and that was that. That went on in. It still goes on in Brooklyn. I mean, they have a underground world over there, literally.
Yeah, it goes on. It goes on up here too, Billy.
Yeah, but one thing that's different, Rio. I think there is a definitive identity between different parts of the nation. Like if I go anywhere in the United States that's outside of New York, they're gonna point me out and say, "Hey, you're from New York." I mean, it happens to me all the time.
Oh yeah, it used to happen to me too.
I was down in Louisiana, and everybody, "You're from New York, aren't you?"
Well,
whenever I go to Florida, "You're from New York." It's like I bring New York with me everywhere I go. Like there's a definite identity to even people in New Jersey, even though you're our stepchild. So I kind of understand, that we're very similar. But there are differences between people from New Jersey and people from New York, man. And just another thing to reiterate on something you guys are talking about. I think that it's this depopulation thing. I think it's going to go very differently. This is the agendas that are being pushed. Is sex is not going to be for recreation. I mean, sex is going to be recreational. It's not going to be for
reproduction.
It's going to be a recreational thing.
Yeah.
What happened, JG? I
said, yeah, it's going to be for pleasure, not for reproduction.
Exactly. It's not, and the more the AI takes hold, right, and people can't get out of their basements now, right? So now they're having AI sex with AI girlfriends and AI boyfriends and stuff like that. They're not going to want to meet people, and they're not going to. And there's no way to impregnate an AI unless you're going to have a kid in the metaverse. And that's how the population will inevitably drop. I think that's the way they're going to pull it off, right? And cities are going to continue to be a thing. Cities aren't going to go away. They're just going to change. And everybody's going to be dying to go in there. Like in Saudi Arabia, they're building a city called The Line. You guys heard of this?
Yeah.
It's a giant line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is. It's two giant walls in a straight line. It's never been built before, but Michio Kaku's a part of it. Tons of people are sitting there figuring out what's the best way to do it.
We did a show on it.
We did. We're at the top of the hour. Stand by. Stay here.
All right.
Angry Tiger's here. Billy Ray Valentine's here. Bruce McDonald's here. Rockin' Rio's here. My name's Jimmy. We'll be right back.
Allow me to adjust my pants so that I may dance the good time dance and put the onlookers and innocent bystanders into a trance.
It's freeworld.fm.
Give disease or the swine who marry and propagate lies. Tough luck for elected officials. The beast you see got 50 eyes. Bring it on home, spread the wealth, play it cool, the hand's been dealt. Now all the odds are in our favor. Save the victory speeches for later. Streets on fire. The mob goes wild, wild, wild. Streets government sealed and signed, delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps. 21 guns, box made of pine, letter from the government sealed and signed, delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps. Condoleezza Rice is nice, but I prefer Aroni. And that man on the TV who speaks to the dead, you know that man's a phony. Everybody move to Canada, smoke lots of pot. Everybody move to Canada right now. Here's how we do it. Bum rush the border guard before he and his dog ever knew it. Streets on fire, the mob goes wild, wild.
It's Free World FM. I'm Jimmy. It's Into the Microcosm, hour number 2.
Farm no more. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. Well, I wake up in the morning, fold my hands and pray for rain. I got a head full of ideas that are driving me insane. It's a shame the way she makes me scrub the floor. I ain't gonna.
Rock and Rio, I think Rage is Billy Ray Valentine's favorite act. Is that your favorite band, Billy? Rage?
Rage is the greatest band of all time, hands down, bar none. Live band I've ever heard in my life, and I've seen very many. And I would challenge anybody. I know that everybody has their own preferences, but I've never seen the raw energy and anger than a Rage Against the Machine show, and it's just so raw. Like it's the essence of what music is supposed to be. It's a merger of rock and roll and hip hop, man. And Tom Morello is a genius. Zach is very underrated as a lyricist. Incredible band. I saw them last year, and in Madison Square Garden, Zach De La Rocha had broke his ankle, and he was sitting down for the entire show. And it was still one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. Not very many bands can match up to Rage Against the Machine. You could hate their politics, but as far as their musical performance goes, they're second to none in my opinion.
Were you watching the MTV Music Awards when Fred Durst was getting his award or whatever, and the dude from Rage Against the Machine, the vocalist?
That was the bass player, man.
It was the bass player? He climbed up there?
Tim Comerford climbed that thing, and then Kid Rock and Fred Durst were making fun of him.
Well, yeah, they didn't know who he was. They just thought it was some dude climbed up there.
Oh, let's see. I'd love to see Kid Rock sell out Madison Square Garden 3 nights in a row. It wouldn't happen.
No way.
Limp Bizkit either, even though I've had some appreciation for Limp Bizkit nowadays. I hated them for a long time.
Well, dude, you know
they're
what?
a pretty good live band, but they don't measure up to Rage.
What'd you say?
Limp Bizkit guys.
Listen, I'll tell you what, man. I just watched a documentary or it wasn't really a documentary. It was an interview with Vanilla Ice. Have you guys seen any interviews with Vanilla Ice?
No.
Did you know that he got in a hassle with that whole
Oh yeah.
Well, he just fucking bought the publishing for it.
Did he?
He bought it himself. Yeah. And then he goes into this whole thing. Well, nobody knows about publishing, and all of a sudden he was buying publishing. The guy's worth like $400 million, man. You guys know that? The dude's worth $400 million.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I knew he was loaded.
Plus now he builds homes or whatever.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice is doing his thing. He's on. He hosts television shows, and builds homes. He's handy and stuff, and he's doing just fine. Good for him.
That's what I mean. Yeah, no, it's he goes in this whole thing about the Suge Knight thing. He didn't shake me over the side of the thing.
Right.
Remember when we did that show? We did a show about Vanilla Ice being shook over the side of the balcony.
Oh yeah.
Matt in the chat says Boy George live is amazing. He probably is. Boy George is fantastic. I love Culture Club.
I know. The whole reason people didn't like Culture Club was because what? The dude was he looked a little, odd. I mean, what was the whole reason? What was the reason for people to dislike Culture Club in the first place?
The Epic Journeyman has checked in.
Karma Chameleon.
All right.
Yeah, Karma
Hey,
Chameleon.
I'm gonna get out of here, okay? Just because Epic showed up, it's time for me to go, man.
No way, man.
You don't want to hear Epic, man?
You got to stick around.
I gotta
Can't
go.
Get face to
If
face
Epic
with
is in the
Epic?
room.
We got to find out what beer Epic would be. Angry Tiger, before you got here.
Yeah.
One of our co-hosts lives in Maui. And so we were saying, because he rolls out and gets a beer at the hotel, checking out the ladies. And we were saying, if he was at the bar, what kind of beer would he have in his hand?
Dos Equis.
You said Dos Equis? That's funny. That's funny. All right. Did you bring him in?
I'm working on it here.
Okay, so Bruce left. There goes Bruce McDonald. There goes Bruce McDonald.
Hey, I'm out, man. Hey, Tiger, you sticking around or you out too?
I'm going to go in a couple of minutes here myself. I got to get going. I got to call the old lady back. She's leaving to Florida for a week tomorrow, so I'll be in the doghouse.
Well, we're about to.
No, absolutely.
Well, we're about to.
I'm glad you got to hang out with the boys here,
Yeah,
man. Jimmy
nice
Dean
to-
is my guy from way, way, way back, and Angry Tiger is my dude from not too long ago, but he's still my dude, you know what I mean? So I'm glad you guys got to link up.
Me
with
too,
Rio
and definitely, you're definitely welcome, Angry Tiger, to come back anytime. Now we're about to do reverse speech on the dude from the UN and his New Year Rock and Rio, his New Year's what is it? His benevolence, or what is he doing exactly with this speech? Is he?
He's just talking about how 2024 is going to be great because 2023 sucked.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to touch on, Angry Tiger. So you're welcome to hang, or if you got to go, you're welcome to go. And please, like I say, now we have your contact. So
yep, you got my contact.
Yeah.
I'm going to head out, boys. But
Right on.
I really do. I appreciate being on the show. I've been listening in on, after mine, and it's been great. And,
Fantastic.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you, man. We really appreciate you. There he goes.
All right, later, guys.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Angry Tiger. It's Into the Microcosm. It's Saturday night.
Maggie's brother no more. When he hands you a nickel, when he hands you a dime, when he asks you with a grin, if you're having a good time, then he finds you every time you slam the door.
You ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more, are you, Rio?
No, I still like the original version of that better.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, not the original, but the original.
The Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bob Dylan wrote it. So.
Yeah. Well, all right. So listen.
But Levon used to do a good version of that. With
Levon Helm.
Yeah,
Levon Helm. Well, maybe tomorrow. Are you going to be doing Are you going to be on Wake and Bake tomorrow?
Yeah, I can be on Wake and Bake tomorrow.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get into some Levon Helm tomorrow on Wake and Bake.
Well, you guys are all itching for some reverse. I know I've been away for a few weeks.
I know. It's been more than a few weeks because it was a few weeks before you left, and then it was a few weeks. But, we're looking forward to it, man.
Well, I don't have that much, but I do have a little nugget here.
Everybody, Epic goes, why is everybody leaving? They heard the Epic Journeyman was coming, everybody left.
As soon as I said you checked in, they were like, "Oops, see ya, bye."
I know. No, it's just a coincidence of it. Hold on a second.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
sure Bruce will be back.
Yeah, Bruce will probably.
Bruce is probably just going and getting,
He's got to tend the chickens.
He's got to check the moon. Let's see what's up. All right, here. Oh, there you go. All right, there you are. All right, listen. Okay, don't say anything yet. I'm gonna tell you. So listen, while you weren't here, we were saying if Epic Journeyman was at the bar at the hotel, and he had on his $300 sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt, what kind of beer? And he was checking out the ladies. What kind of beer would he have in his hand? Now I said Heineken. Bruce, he said Miller Genuine Draft. Billy Ray Valentine said Dos Equis.
Yeah, I heard the Dos Equis. That's when I came in.
Yeah, and what did you say, Rio?
I said Corona with lime.
Corona with lime. All right. Was anybody right?
Well, it depends. Like we're limited here these days over here in Maui, you know. But
what are you trying to say? You might have a bud.
Sculpin would be the best. That'd be number one. Billy Ray was pretty close in San Diego. I had Dos Equis dark most of the time.
See, now I brought up Dos Equis before Billy was on here, but I didn't choose it. But what I was talking about was, and I said you would know this, that when you drink a Mexican beer, it chills out hot sauce for some reason. Not like if you drink a Bud, like if you just ate a jalapeno and you swill a Bud, it doesn't do anything. It's still burning your throat. But
yeah, and I used to drink Corona quite a bit, actually. Now, ironically, as fate would have it, I went to the store today and they were sold out of everything. So you know what I have right now? I have a Heineken.
Oh. So in some respect, we were all right about you.
Yeah, no, it'd be Sculpin would be number one.
But right now, you got a Heineken.
Yeah. Right now, I have a Heineken.
I sensed it. See, Rio, I told you. Right? I remote viewed his ass. And I was feeling, for some reason.
You gotta knock that stuff off, man, because it's creepy.
Dude,
my new motherboard just got here. I literally just went to the door to get it, and I'd fallen asleep in the chair, and I'm like, what the heck? I was waiting for the show to start, right? And I got up way too early. So
no, listen, I gotta
ask
you something now because I had an episode last week. A week ago tonight, I had some kind of episode, and so I saw that you said in the chat last night. I happened to just see it go by that you said something about that you are having an episode with some esophagus problem.
Yeah, I have a hiatal hernia. Yep. And I got food stuck on Christmas Day, actually. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. So my Christmas was kind of busted for that.
Now,
yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
And that happened on Christmas Day?
Yep.
Now, see, I had some weird episode, like I said, a week ago tonight where I started getting heartburn. And then, I drank some milk and this and that. I do all the things I normally do for heartburn, but nothing really worked. And all of a sudden, I got this weird pain in the middle of my back. And then I couldn't fucking breathe, man. I mean, every time I took a breath, it was like I was getting stabbed in the heart or whatever. So the only way I could breathe is I had to breathe really shallow, and I couldn't lay down because if I laid down, my lung would be. It felt like my lung was like laying on my, I couldn't breathe, man. I literally did not think I was going to wake up, man, in the morning at that point. And I was sitting there and I was thinking because we had just done that show about the soul and all that. And Epic and Rio, and I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, what if this is the moment right now? What if this is it, right this very second? Like, what if this is it?
Well, yeah, the thing about this kind of this blockage, right, is you can't swallow at all. Like you can't swallow your own spit. You can't drink water. You can't do anything. It's completely.
So in that moment, did you think, what if this is it? I mean, are you thinking in that
Well, it's
moment?
happened
Are you
before. I've
saying?
had to
Are
go to
you
hospital
saying Jesus
before.
is my Lord and Savior in that moment, dude? No, I'm not
Well,
bullshitting you, man. I'm being real with you right now.
I know exactly what you mean. No, the first time it happened, I kind of was there. The second time, it's happened a number of times. It's been pretty good for years now. Back in the day, I had Kaiser as my medical. This is kind of weird thing to talk about on a holiday, but as my medical coverage, and they're just like, "How old are you?" Oh, come back in a couple of years or whatever, right?
No, I
Even though
wasn't.
I had to go to the hospital, have them push it down with the endoscope. I mean, that's how bad it was, right? You had physically had to have them put the thing down my throat, and push the blockage down because it wouldn't
Now,
move. And so
Ronan,
one time I went there, it'd been 3 days. I knew I was going to die because I literally knew I was going to die because I was going to dehydrate because you can't get any water, right? You can't swallow anything. You're
listen,
going to die after 3 days.
Ronan in the chat said that was AFib, but no, Ronan. Hey, listen, my mom has heart issues, so there's equipment in here. So the first thing I did was to make sure that I checked my heart. I had blood oxygen, everything. It wasn't my heart. I don't know what it was. Ultimately for me, I ended up falling asleep. Sitting on the floor with my head resting against the table. And when I woke up, it wasn't as bad, and it got less and less as the days went on. And I felt better. But I mean, the point was, and the only reason I really talked about it, and I wanted to ask you the question about what happened to you, is because, like I'm saying, in that moment, what was going through my mind was, what if this is the moment right now? And am I ready to step into that whole thing, step into that darkness that I know nothing about in that moment? I mean, am I right? Am I right with myself? Am I right with the Lord? Am I right with God? What's going on, man? That's the moment of truth right there. See? And
I have gone through that before, like where the whole spiel. I was at work actually back in the mainland back about 10 years ago, and I was sitting talking to another guy about some tech issues about the building management system or something, right? I'm sitting there talking to him, and as I'm talking to him, all of a sudden I start feeling like I'm falling backwards, like in the chair, like I'm falling backwards in the chair.
You like
and
dizzy?
The sensation doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. And I tell him, "Hey man, call 911." Like he's like, "What? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm serious. Call 911. I never felt like this." And they take me to the hospital. I go in the ambulance, and I'm doing exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, internally, I'm praying. I'm getting ready to die. I'm like, well, this is probably it, And I'm like, well, I don't know what it is, but this must be what it feels like, right? And when I got to the hospital, and they do the typical thing they do at the hospital, and they do all the tests and stuff, they couldn't find anything wrong. I'm totally like in perfect health, but I'm still feeling like I'm falling backwards, right? And eventually it just stopped. And it never was figured out what it was. Never was. It was like the strangest thing, and yet the MRI and the whole 9 yards. Couldn't find anything wrong. It's weird, man. And what I thought at the time it might have been an aneurysm. And so I was starting to think it was like an aneurysm, but because I had a friend whose mom had an aneurysm, that was a coworker, and it seems similar to that. The way that she described it to him, but they didn't find that. So to this day, I never knew what that was. But I'll tell you, like, if you have enough consciousness at the time to still make your amends, so to speak, and get ready for it, that's what you do. That is what you do. You think, well, I mean,
yeah. In that moment, it's like when people go to prison. A lot of people become born again Christians. At that point. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that, that's the moment where the rubber meets the road, You could say whatever you want to say and have concepts of this or that or the other thing, but when that moment like that arrives for whoever it is, like I saw this thing where it said, did you know, and I don't know if this is true, but allegedly, Anton LaVey's dying words were, "Oh my God, what have I done?" So on and so forth. What have I done? What have I done? Oh no, something like this. So, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows?
No, you never know. So I'm tripping out and everybody leaving right before I came on. I wanted to
That
talk
is
to Billy
weird.
Ray.
That's weird,
the,
man.
The Tiger guy is cool, man. I thought
I
he was
know
cool
he'll
last
be
night.
back. No, he'll be back. He Billy just kind of, you know, he was getting ready to talk to his girlfriend. Billy kind of just pulled him in, you know. So because I was asking him if he wanted to come on last night, so we got him all hooked up, and he's definitely going to be back. So don't worry. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah,
his show comes on.
The conversation, like I'm saying, obviously Billy Ray is always welcome, but
He does a show right
what's
before.
his name? Tiger or something, right?
Angry Tiger.
He's good, man.
Yeah, right. He does a show right before us on freeworld.fm.
So in case you're listening there, what's his name? Tiger or something?
Angry Tiger.
Angry Tiger.
Angry Tiger, man. Good job, man. I appreciate your conversation last night. Come back.
There he is. Epic Journeyman inviting the Angry Tiger back. Hey, wait a minute. Doesn't the Epic Journeyman's icon a tiger?
It is.
There's some synchronicity there. There's
Good
synchronicity.
observation.
He has synchronicity with the tiger. Don't worry, man. Mine's Jimmy, brother. I don't miss a stitch. You just can't tell that I noticed it. Rocket Rio, are you ready with this New Year's message in reverse?
What's that?
Are you ready for this New Year's message in reverse from the UN guy?
Yeah, we could get into it a little bit. I'm still kind of listening to it on the side here.
He's Rock and Rio's been looking at the UN. We were trying to find somebody's New Year message, but there isn't one yet from any of the people that you would normally think there would be. I guess.
Well, they'll probably all do it tomorrow night, you know.
Yeah.
Or you know, Sunday or Monday.
Yeah. Who the hell knows, man? Who knows? But I'm glad that you're here now, Epic Journeyman, and it's just the three of us, the three caballeros. I don't know where Bruce went.
Bruce wandered. I think Epic scared him.
No, Bruce. There's something going on up there on the mountain. Maybe he's coming one with the snake.
Yeah, maybe the chupacabras are out or something.
What did we figure out? There was 3 snakes per square mile up there where he was at. It was something like 6 snakes per square mile.
Yeah, he had some. I don't know.
He said what it was. Yeah, you know, the thing is, those are serious snakes, man. Those fertilances, when we talked about it before.
Yeah.
I'm an amateur herpetologist. That's like my thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of my things. And yeah, that is a snake you do not want.
Are there those kind of in Hawaii? Are there wild chameleons? Those ones with the eyes that and they cling.
No, there's cool geckos actually.
Uh-huh.
They're cool. So they get in all your electronics and fry everything. But as far as like to look at, they're really cool.
Yeah.
We have the green psychedelic looking geckos.
Damn, someday we'll be able to sit here in VR and just see all that kind of shit when we just think about it.
Yes, actually, I was trying to get that working last week, and it's just you needed another program to make it work. A couple, actually. You needed your phone, you needed OVR, and you needed
wouldn't you say your
simulcast?
Your days of being able to fly over to Australia and dive on the Barrier Reef are just about over? But now you can do it in the privacy and comfort of your own 300 square feet tiny home.
Actually,
your 15-minute city.
Apps, did I talk about that last night? The Ocean Reef Ocean Reef came out in 2013.
No, you didn't talk about it.
Developing for Oculus.
No, you didn't talk about it.
So the Oculus DK1 development kit one had just come out, and I was signed up as a developer for that. And so that came out like right about that time, like literally like 2013, way early in the days of VR. But for the Quest 3,
they
made this mixed reality version where you draw windows in your house or your space, wherever you are, your space.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do a skylight, like a roof, make the roof part of a big aquarium. And it's badass, dude. Like the sense of perspective you get, like, because you're in your house, right? Or you're in your space. You're just walking around. It's completely wireless, right? So you can walk all around it. And it's amazing. You're there, and it's like the scenes with the shallow reef, with the.
I know, it's sweet, man. I swam with the sharks, bro. I know what you're talking about.
With the shark, like I said, I'll advise people to be careful with that one because it can scare the heck out of you if you're not careful.
I punched it in the snout, man.
I still envision the scene, and I think it's Back to the Future 2, where the shark comes up behind Michael J. Fox. And
That's totally what it's like. It's totally like that. Better than that though.
I punch it in the snout, man, and then I go smoke a cigarette.
The deep sea one's really cool because like you walk up to the window. There's this giant Alaskan king crabs out there, like outside the window, and there's like walking out there, and you can look outside just like you're at the aquarium.
That's what I mean. Well, I mean, it's basically the hollow deck, is it not? I mean,
yeah, that's what I've been saying for years, and I've been trying to tell people that it's not what people expect at all. Like it's going to be a lot better than people think it's going to be.
Well, have
it's
you
already
heard?
Showing what it can be with this.
I heard a rumor that Elon Musk bought Facebook, man.
That'd be interesting.
Did he or did he not?
I didn't hear that. I haven't seen it. I haven't followed up on that at all.
Okay.
I don't know if Zuckerberg would sell it to him.
The amount of artificial intelligence involved in that, I mean, because that's OpenAI and that's Facebook's when they shut down. And
well, that's what I'm saying. If he combined Facebook with X and just made Facebook also part of X and just be called X, Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's going to be.
I'm still waiting for the two of them to have their cage fight.
Meta X. Exactly, dude.
I could totally see that working.
It's totally gonna work, dude. Well, let's look into it. Like when you're doing reverse speech, I will go track it down and see if it's real or not. So I saw it a couple days ago. We'll see. See, that's why I don't ever talk about it until I check it out. So I haven't looked at it personally. All right, why are you quiet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, because I've been missing for so long. I didn't know what the conversation started out like. So
no, we're just it's Saturday night, bro. And we were talking about, looking into the future and stuff. And so, hey, he was drinking a Heineken now, but he would normally, what was it? Tell Bruce what it was that you were drinking.
Yeah, it'd be Sculpin. If I can get a hold of Sculpin, that's the best. But here in Hawaii, it's rare to find that.
What is that, Danish?
No, it's
Netherlands?
San Diego, Ballast Point Brewing. Yeah, it's really good, man.
Oh, it's like a local brew?
Yeah, but it's worldwide now. But when they have it, it's great. So you have Hawaiian.
Do they still make Primo beer?
No, they might, but I've never seen it anywhere.
Remember
I used to drink that back in the day.
Yeah, remember that shit, Primo.
Yeah, back in the 80s. Yeah,
they're like Primo, bro. That's what
it was always cheap too, right? It was like back then a 6-pack of beer was like $5.99, and Primo was like $3.99.
Yeah, yeah, Primo.
I remember. Yeah,
hell yeah.
We're kids, of course, comparatively, but
I know people like the rolling. People that are into the Rolling Rock or whatever. But I'm telling you, Primo. That was happening.
Rolling Rock. You can drink like 100 Rolling Rocks and still feel the same.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It doesn't really. I don't know what the alcohol content of Rolling Rock is, but it satisfies the need, I guess. But
damn, we should be getting paid. We've literally named just about.
I know we're naming all these beers.
Every beer.
The Hawaiian Brewing Company. What do we call it? Oh man, this name escapes me. But they make Fire Rock and Kula Bay and all that stuff. Those are both really good. Kula Bay and Fire Rock are really good. But everywhere on tap here, like in Maui, it's Golden Wave or Big Wave, and it's not that great, man. So I'd rather just go with a regular established beer like a Heineken or even a Stella or something that's on tap. Those are pretty common still here. There's not that many places to get a beer here now. Like I said, they burned down, so it's like two places to go on the side of the island. It's a trip, man. Like your whole life is disrupted by this fire. Like all these times you just take things for granted. You're going to go over here, go eat there, or go grab an auto part or do whatever. And all those places are gone now.
That's right. Taking shit for granted. That's what we were talking about a minute ago, man. Because that moment of truth can come at any given time, huh? Any moment. It can. That's what I mean. It's like, that's the thing is all the shit that you don't even look at. You just take, you just like, driving your car behind the glass, whatever. You don't smell anything. You don't see anything really. You know what I mean? You're not really a part of anything that's going on. You don't hear the wind. You rarely even see nowadays. Let me ask you this question. Sure, on the islands it's different, but I don't see people with their windows down anymore. It used to be like people would ride around with their arm hanging out the window.
It's a thing here in Hawaii, man. It is. Like I'm one of the ones that doesn't do it. I only do it on the big island in my car because my air conditioner's broken. But it's a thing because like there's a technique. It's not just your arm hanging out the window. It's the way you hang your arm out the window, not to look cool. It's because it's the way it
wind.
channels the air.
Yeah.
And your armpits pulls you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a major thing here, man. Like
That's what I'm
everybody's
saying.
stepping down out the window, even when they have air conditioning. I'm like
Rio.
I'm still apparently Howley because I don't do it enough.
Well, see, Rio, do people ride around with their windows open over there on the East Coast?
Not usually.
No. Because, I mean, anything can happen, right? Shit comes flying in the windows. Angry immigrants.
Well, you know what I think about? I think about the drummer from Def Leppard. Remember, he had his arm out this Corvette. That's why he lost his arm when he got in the accident. That's what always comes to my mind. To me, it's not me being an urbanite or something. It's because that I'm kind of scared of that.
Whenever I think about that dude and his arm.
Well, you know what the big change is that sometime in the 80s, air conditioning became standard on every car. So people just don't do that anymore because they keep their windows up and they got their climate control going.
I mean, if you go back and watch American Graffiti, find me one of those cars in that movie where the dude's ain't sitting there with a white T-shirt with his arm hanging out the window.
Yeah, because they had no air conditioning.
Yeah, well, back then, you ain't hanging your arm out the window now. Now the people are all in their little bubble, and they're listening to their little music on their little stereo systems.
Listen to Jimmy Jean on the podcast, man.
Dude.
And they're still driving around with their masks on inside their cars.
Listen.
Dude, I saw somebody with a mask the other day, and I'm sorry, man. Like, I've seen pretty frequently, but like this one just bothered me because it was what you're describing. They're on Hawaii. We have trade winds blowing, right? And you get the wind. You have the fresh air, the freshest air on the planet, probably.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as chemtrails here, for example. With nothing to worry about, right? And wearing a mask, I'm like, what? What are you doing, man? What are you coming to Hawaii for? Right?
How many arms does the Def Leppard dude have? Didn't he lose both of his arms?
No, it's just the one. He had his left arm out the window. He was driving a new Corvette he just bought, and how long he had it, but it was relatively new. And he was racing around with it and got in an accident, and his arm was out the window at the time.
See,
that's how he lost his arm.
Here's what I said probably about 5 or 6 years ago with Kev Baker on the Kev Baker Show. I said that in the future, Facebook would become rickety and fucked up. And no one would be there anymore. But all the shit that everybody put on there is still going to be there. So everything, when Facebook was a hot item and everybody was on there sharing stuff around and doing all this shit, friending and doing all this, all that stuff's going to be there forever. And I was saying in the future, there'll be a technology where they'll be able to go into that picture, that whatever digital image you took, and go to that moment and be able to zoom into that moment that picture was taken and put you right into that person's life as though you're a character, living out all the shit that they put in Facebook when they were in there. You live their lives.
Yeah, AI is doing that already. It animates still pictures, and you can totally put yourself into the coordinates from Google Earth and everything. I mean, and put you right in that spot.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's legit. And the thing that's going on with Apple Vision Pro is they're planning on incorporating that right now with their spatial video. Right now, you can take spatial video on your iPhone. You can still play it on the Apple Vision Pro when it comes out. And that's kind of it's a Black Mirror thing, man. It really is. Like the way I understand it from the people who've used it so far is that if it's something close to you, like within 3 or 4 feet, like you're talking to your kids or talking to your girlfriend or whatever, right? Or if you're a woman talking to your husband or whatever at dinner, that kind of thing is going to be so convincing that it's the 3D effect of it, and everything is so realistic. It's really hard to tell.
Well, you know what's really interesting?
The farther away, it gets more normal.
From a systems integration standpoint, what's really interesting is the talk that we had a few months ago about the AI using your wireless signal to create a model of your room and show the people in it based on literally whole positioning of you in your room can be seen through the wireless transmission of your routers in your house. So it's interesting because I wonder that if from an integration standpoint, if they will correlate that same data that we're talking about now if they're going to correlate that and make that happen for what you're talking about. Because
yeah, I wonder about no pun intended, the metadata, right? That's gathered from your MetaQuest 3, for example. It maps your entire room. Like when you scan around, you can see the polygons fill the room as it maps the room for you. And we're doing something like that aquarium map, that ocean rift map I was talking about. It maps the entire thing. You can walk around, go to the other end of the room, and go in the bathroom, another room, go into the kitchen, whatever, look up the ceiling, look at all the furniture, it maps the furniture and everything. So when you come back, like the MR aspect of it is not just for that application, but other ones, it knows that room exactly. So it'll put like objects in the room. So like when you do like First Encounter, which is the free app that comes with it, the aliens will come and hop onto your desk and hop out of your roof. And
well, let's extrapolate. Let's extrapolate this for a minute, because if I have this on and you have it on and it maps my room and it maps your room, and then it swaps the data with me and you and positions me so that when I'm walking around in my house, I'm in my house, but you see me in your space and I'm walking around in your space. And vice versa. You're in my space. To each of us, it seems as though you're with me or I'm with you.
So 60 Minutes did a show a couple months back where it wasn't Apple one. It was Google, which hasn't released theirs yet. And Google has this thing where it holographically maps your body exactly. Like it actually maps you live time, right? And then you can use that as your avatar from that point forward. It's a holographic map of you. It's not some cartoony thing. It's actually you, right? And then when it eye tracks you, so that when you go to another application, some kind of Zoom meeting or something, some kind of equivalent app, you're in the virtual space as you, and as you have a headset on, or you're in a room that has those cameras. In this case, it was a room with the cameras. It mimics your every expression and your eye movement and everything else. But in a headset, it mimics your eye movement, your expressions that it gathers there live time. So yeah, we're going to a weird place, man. We really are. It's totally possible to have this holodeck from Star Trek. Absolutely, 100%. That's where we're going. And so for $500, there's a MetaQuest 3 out there, and I'm not paid to advertise for these guys. I'm telling you, it's really good. It's really good. It's not.
Well, at some point we'll do this. We will do this show in VR as soon as I can put that together, man. I'll definitely. I'll do it.
Yeah, I was working on it. That's what I went to Feature for, trying to do is see what it takes to get that going live time. They don't have a Skype app yet. And Vision Quest, not Vision Quest. The Apple Pro 2 will have Skype. So you will be able to do it that. There's a workaround right now with the MetaQuest 3. There is, but it takes some third-party stuff in the phone.
Well, we'll get it figured out, man. I mean, $500, a lot of money for people, and that's probably why Zuckerberg's idea of what he thought was going to happen didn't happen. Because at that particular moment in time, it would have been pretty easy to suck in a bunch of people to sit in headsets when they were trapped in their homes, And
he missed the boat. I think he did miss the boat.
He missed the boat.
They created something really good, man. I think that this is going to catch on way more than people ever thought.
Elon Musk,
I don't think Facebook.
If that Elon Musk rumor is true that he bought Facebook, I'm telling you, the meta will turn into something completely different. All right, listen, Rock and Rio. Are you just about ready? I hope you didn't fall asleep. Here's Chris Cornell. It's freeworld.fm. It's into the microcosm.
Summer nights and long warm days, stolen as the old moon falls. place to hide it all. Another place to hide it all. And I'm lost behind the words I'll never find. And I'm left behind in seasons.
Rock and Rio. Are you there? Is he even here?
What's that?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Are you ready to sniff out the...
Yeah. I got something substantial here.
All right, stand by.
Dreams have never made my bed. Dreams have never made my bed.
All right, well, it looks like we're probably going to have to do a show tomorrow night on the Independent Broadcast Network for New Year's Eve because, I mean, we haven't even gotten into anything about the new year yet and Epic Journeyman. I think there's a new moon. The people are saying it's a portal. The new moon.
Nah, the full moon is like a couple days ago.
Not a full moon, a new moon.
Yeah, that's coming up next week.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The new year,
2
the
weeks.
new moon is going to open up a portal to the 5th dimension.
I have to go up in my beautiful balloon, man.
Dude, listen, if you're thinking negative, you're going to go down the negative hole drain. You're going to go down.
A beautiful balloon. I got to go up and away, right?
That's right. Chris Cornell, man. I got to say, he'd have to be in my top 5 vocalists of all time. Rock vocalists, or just vocalists in general. All right, Rock and Rio. Are we ready to drop the jaws of the devil?
Yeah.
All right. Let's expose the devil where he lies. If he lies there, then there he will be. All right. What did Michael Campbell say that he retracted his statement over in the chat? I don't know. What's happening, Michael? Good to see you. Welcome into the microcosm. I thought Bruce was back, but apparently he is gone again. I was going to see if we were going to open up the phones, but it's getting late. Like we only have 20 some odd minutes left, Rock and Rio. Go ahead, man. You got the floor, brother.
All right, hang on 1 second here.
All right.
I got one more. Oh, I just deleted the whole thing. All right. So this is the UN chief. I forget his name. But
You're coming in very soft and weak.
I'm coming in weak?
Yes, please adjust your volume accordingly.
That's weird. I should be like full volume.
Okay, well, go ahead.
All right. So this is the UN chief's Happy New Year message from 2 days ago. And it's only about a minute long forward, so there's not really a whole lot here, but the stuff that is here is very interesting. He does talk a little bit about the mark and soul possession and a few other things here, so just kind of get into it. The first thing he says that really catches me is he says he's going to shill the mark that makes you so horny. And I'm sure why the mark is supposed to make you horny, but that's what he says.
I would shill mark that like you said horny.
Slow it down a little bit here. This is his forward.
In all that we can accomplish together, I wish you a happy and peaceful new year.
All right, so he's he's got a little bit of an accent, so the reverse has a little bit of an accent too.
All
right, so here's we like to shill the mark that makes you so horny.
So the first part sounds like it says Yeshua, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you a happy and peaceful new year. You love sick, nee?
He says something about loving the evil.
I wish you, yeah.
And I think he says to hell with Yeshua. And then
Everything. Oh. Don't do that, baby. What gonna do? Suck it to me. Oh. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. We love you long time.
Really? Yes.
I'm just imagining John Candy saying, "I'm gonna put my load in you."
Oh
from Uncle Buck, right? The washing machine.
Right, so,
But anyway, yeah.
So he says he's going to shill the mark that makes you so horny, and then it says they are evil, and a lot of people will miss it.
Sustainable development.
Right? And a lot of people, they're evil, and a lot of people will miss it.
A lot of people miss it. It's right there. Yeah, that's pretty clear.
And then this next one was the one I just had. Hang on.
Seek the flow of the light.
All right, it says seek the flow of the light.
Rallying the world for peace. Seek the flow of the light.
Right, seek the flow of the light.
Beast lives in the shade with them.
And the beast we will share with them. So, seek the flow of the light, and the beast we will share with them. And it says, I lost my soul for that. Search the light, the real chief, he possessed us. So, if you listen to people refer to, after they've sold their soul, they refer to Satan as the chief, right? He's the chief of this world. So, right, he lost my soul for that. And search the light, and then here's the real chief, he possessed us.
Real chief, he possessed us.
Real chief, he possessed us. And it says, seize the love, get the loosh, we have summoned him.
What?
Oh
Oh my goodness. Slow that down, man, and turn it up.
And we must make sure new technologies, such as artificial intelligence, are a force for good.
Right. We must make sure that the artificial intelligence is a force for good.
Force for good? A force for good? What is this, fucking comic book? A force for good? What the fuck?
All right, so here, this is the line, right? I lost my soul for that. You search the light, the real chief, he possessed us. Seize the love, get the loosh, we have summoned them. And then it says, see, you're dealing with the massive mark. So that's what this whole line says, right?
Okay, listen. Now, you're going to be sorry one day you didn't fucking listen to me when I told you to write every one of these down. Every one of these that you've done. You should have wrote down exactly what was said, because all those speeches that Trump gave and all that shit.
I have it all.
Oh, man, dude, you gotta put that out into a book. Go ahead. Let it rip, man.
Here we go. All right. So I'll do this. I'll do this at an even slower speed. Lost my soul for that. Search the light. The real chief, he possessed us. Chief, he possessed us.
Jesus. Joseph and Mary.
Seize the love. Get the loosh. We have summoned him.
This is too much, man.
See, you're dealing with the massive mark. Is there a shill, and is there a prophet? Is this the end of the journey where we'll all see the Savior? So there you go.
I'm so
Is
sorry
this the
about
end
this.
of the journey where we'll see the Savior?
Unbelievable.
And then there's one more line a little farther up. It says, help must rush in. It is certain. If this heart is for the money, do you want to grab some? So I'll get up here to that one.
Epic Journeyman.
All right. Help must rush in. It is certain. If this horror is for the money, do you want to grab some?
Hjälp oss strashen i sitt satna i this orfner of money you are glass roll.
So it's all for the money. That's why they're doing it, right? It's the horror for the money. They're gonna give you the mark, seize your love, get the loosh, summon the devil.
Damn, Rock and Rio. I have to say, you really shouted at the devil tonight.
Well, I didn't shout at the devil. This dude did.
Well, I'm saying you shouted him out right here. You showed him out there shining a light all up in it.
So what is this from exactly?
This is the UN Chief Council wishing everybody a happy New Year.
So this is the message he gave about Ukraine yesterday or something, right? Is that one?
No.
Yeah, it's like a minute long. You know, I'll play the thing forward if you want, because it's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, play it forward.
All right. Let's see here. I'll just do it right from the start.
2023 has been a year of enormous suffering, violence, and climate chaos. Humanity is in pain. Our planet is in peril. 2023 is the hottest year on record. People are getting crushed by growing poverty and hunger. Wars are growing in number and ferocity, and trust is in short supply. But pointing fingers and pointing guns lead nowhere. Humanity is strongest when we stand together. 2024 must be a year for rebuilding trust and restoring hope. We must come together across divides for shared solutions, for climate action, for economic opportunity and a fairer global financial system that delivers for all. Together we must stand up against the discrimination and hatred that are poisoning relations between countries and communities. And we must make sure new technologies, such as artificial intelligence, are a force for good. The United Nations will keep rallying the world for peace, sustainable development, and human rights. Let us resolve to make 2024 a year of building trust and hope in all that we can accomplish together. I wish you a happy and peaceful new year.
He actually says a lot there, right? Because he talks about
pointing
using AI
fingers
for
and
good.
pointing guns. That's a great line, you know.
Yeah.
They don't need the background music. I'm always suspicious when they throw background music in. And
Yeah.
I think that's significant that we just played, actually.
Well, I mean, the
because
thing.
it's there in the
But
music.
you know, he mentions having a united economic front, right?
Yeah,
So
one
talking
that's-
about the
Oh, yeah,
one
yeah,
world
the whole money
currency,
thing,
the one
right.
world government.
Yeah.
You know, using AI as the technology
Mhm.
to move it forward.
A
It's
force
not
for
evil.
using it
like
as-
it's like it's every New World Order talking point in like a minute and a half.
Use the AI for a force for good. What, like I said, what is this? A comic book? Force for
Oh,
good.
it's sort of like you know, it's Lex Luthor,
Everything
right?
is reduced
It
down.
is.
Listen, everything has been reduced down to some icon like a comic book figure, a hero, this and that. You know, the struggle or whatever. You know what I mean? It's all script talk. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. Don't you think? I mean, there is no force for good as far as the AI is concerned. Once the AI is loose, it's gone. Right now, that's what they're saying. It's gone. Right.
That's what I'm saying about it. It sounds like the pointing guns and pointing fingers line is a great line, right? But the thing is, it's totally Bond villain talk. In a sense, it really is.
It's Antonio Guterres is the guy's name.
Antonio Guterres.
The United Nations Secretary General.
Expect the submarine habitat to merge, you know, from the sea anytime. It's like Spy That Loved Me, right? It's totally like that kind of thing. And he sounds genuine, but the thing is that this very kind of conversation, just put that out there in a casual way.
I really,
about artificial
really
intelligence. That's
wish.
not okay.
I wish we could find that symposium that we found a few years ago, where they were talking about rebuilding the world from scratch. Remember that? And
Yeah,
the thing was
that was talking.
we
Yeah,
brought it up
I-
again,
yeah.
and then Rio was able to scroll back in Skype and find it. But it's been so long now, there's no way to find it. But I really wish we could, because there was a lot of shit in there that I wish I could look at now, and after some years have gone by. All right, well, it looks like Zach Wild's in the green room, man. It's time for us to head on out. Are you guys up for a show tomorrow night, New Year's Eve?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Never know.
I'm gonna be home.
Scoping, definitely.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
be home alone. I ain't going out tomorrow, so.
All right, so tomorrow night then, it's a date. We'll be back. What time you want to come back tomorrow night?
Well, I guess maybe 11 Eastern would be appropriate, right?
So what time is that my time? 8?
8.
Yep.
All right, and
8
that's
California.
6 my time.
6. All right, let's do it. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We'll see you here.
And we can all watch the ball drop live.
Watch the balls drop, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
All right. My balls dropped a long time ago, bro.
Yeah. As long as they ain't on the floor, man. Somebody step on them.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I mean, gravity's not your friend, bro.
I will not walk through that door. Oh, no, no. I may be blind, but I'll find my way. Oh, yeah, like a lost prayer on a stormy day. Oh, stormy day. You can carry your grudge. I've severed these ties and I've cut you free. Keep your war to yourself. I buried what was in my sympathy. On and on we drift back to where we were before. You can
So don't forget, tomorrow morning also, it's the Wake and Bake. We'll see you then. Rock and Rio, man, out of the park, dude. That was great.
Sitting at home with my dick on hard. So I got the black book for a freak to call. Picked up the telephone, then dialed the 7 digits. Said, yo, this Marquise, baby, are you down with it? I arrived at a house, knocked on the door, not having no idea of what the night had in store. I'm like a dog in heat, a freak without warning, not having appetite for sex. Cause me so